Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 62 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 62. Okay, so this video is totally out of order. I was going through and making all of my videos public instead of private. I made them all private so my friend could edit them, and then she hasn't been editing them, so I just decided to make them all public. Not sure how good a decision that is, but in the process of doing that, I realized that I somehow managed to skip day 62. So that made me sad, but I'm just gonna do like a little makeup video for day 62. It's been a while since this happened, about a month actually. But I went to my friend's, I guess you call it celebration of life, goodbye ceremony, whatever. Goodbye ceremonies from my book. I'm so sorry. That's not what people and anyway, yeah. Anyway, it was her funeral, basically. Her funeral. So they called it a celebration of life kind of a thing because they had her body cremated and I don't know what they ended up doing with the ashes. So she passed away several months ago, and then last month they finally had her celebration of life, her funeral that I went to. And I was running late. Felt bad about that. And then of course my landlord wanted something from me when I was leaving, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Felt bad about that too, but there's not much I can do. Anyway, so I was there and I happened to just be singing one of the hymns, and it's kind of stuck in my head ever since then. But after the funeral, one of my writing group friends, she was sitting in front of me at the funeral, and she could hear me singing the song, along to the songs, and she told me that I had a really beautiful voice and I should sing louder. I should like share it with everyone. And I was just kind of like, always been a little embarrassed about my singing voice because I always felt like it just wasn't good enough because I got teased by siblings and others growing up because it wasn't as good as theirs. I came from a very musical family and I wasn't as musically talented and inclined as they were. So they were quite happy to point out the fact that I wasn't as musically inclined as they were. And kind of, I interpreted that as I should just, step back and not do anything with music because I didn't like being teased or taunted. I didn't take it as I should step up and learn to be better like everybody else. I was just like, I'm just not like everybody else. I'm just not going to do it. So not that I didn't like singing or I didn't like music or that I don't like any of those things, just not to the extent that other people in my family did. And I have learned as I've gotten older that I can match my voice to other people around me or to the music that's being played. But when it comes to just naturally singing like a cappella and hitting all the notes, that I cannot do. I just do not have the musical ear to do that. And I'm okay with that. But I thought it was really sweet of this person to point that out to me. And when they were talking about my writing friend that passed away, they were mentioning that she was so gifted and talented in music and this and all of the things that she did, but that she never published any of her books or her writing because she just didn't feel like it was good enough. That was one area in her life that she lacked confidence in spite of all the other things that she did in her life. And I just thought that was so sad. But then I kind of realized that was a reminder again to me that God was pointing out to me that I have this gift and this blessing that I need to share with other people. And that scares me. It really does. It scares me to put myself out there because I know I'm opening myself up to criticism, just like I was criticized about my singing when I was younger. And even though I've learned, and I could probably learn to sing even better if I put forth the effort, not going to, by the way, but I could. I could do that. I could develop that talent. I'd have to work out a lot harder because it doesn't come naturally to me like it does to others. But it's just an excuse I use not to do that or not to participate in things. And sadly, my writing friend did that. And her sister is going to attempt to finish her books and publish them in her name, which I think will be fantastic. I would love to hear how the rest of her stories went, and I hope that she had enough outlined, or that she talked to her sister enough about it that her sister knows how the story goes. Or I hope she gets enough, spiritual guidance and inspiration from my friend to finish the stories. But I have no idea how that's going to happen. But I was just grateful for the random comment when I'm feeling sad and I'm missing a friend, and then someone else is pointing out some talent that I have that I need to develop, that I need to share and use. And also just thinking of my friend in just having that different perspective. Like, here I thought her stories and her writing was amazing every time she shared something, and I'm like, wow, that's really good. She was really good. She had really good story ideas. But I mean, we all critiqued it, so we pointed out the stuff that needed to be fixed, but we also pointed out all the stuff that she was really good at. And I, would have liked to have, she was very good at like the graphic descriptions of things, and it was just like, wow, that is amazing. And it would have been really cool to read her books completely finished. But I think that kind of is a reminder to me that maybe other people like hear my stories and they think the same things. Wow, that'll be so cool when it's finished, when it's published. And so, but I shy away from finishing it and from publishing it. And then I realized that I've told bits and pieces of my story to other people, but I don't know that anyone else has my writing voice, or that anyone else knows my stories and my characters as intimately as I do. I don't know how anyone else would finish my stories if I don't write them and share them. And I wonder how good my friend's stories will be with her sister writing them. Because I'm sure her sister's an excellent writer. I just don't know if her sister has my friend's writing voice, if her stories will be the same, if she will have the same intimate connection with the characters. It reminds me of my brother told me of a book series that he read. I believe it was Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time series, and Robert Jordan passed away before he finished the series. Thankfully, he was working with someone else on the books at the time, and he had a very detailed outline and an ending that he was very proud of. But my brother said that it took like over one book, that was like, there was a whole book that was published, and it wasn't until like, I think there was at least 2, maybe 3 books that were published to finish the Wheel of Time series after Robert Jordan passed away, which is kind of crazy. There was that much left of his series to be written. But my brother said that the author that took over, it took him a whole book to figure out the voice and the voice and the innuendos for one of the characters. Like, my brother said reading it was like he got the character wrong for like the whole book, and it just irritated him. It rubbed him wrong. Because even though he knew the story and how it was supposed to go, he just wasn't writing the same as the author probably would have had he still been alive to finish his series. I don't know if I'll be alive to finish all the series, all the book ideas that I have in my head, or all the stories I have in my head. I've been creating them for over 20 years, and I've never bothered to type them up or write them out or share them with people until like the last 10 years or so. And even then, I haven't shared them with the public. So it's kind of realizing that maybe that is a gift that I should be sharing, and a talent that I should be developing. And it has made me since then think about that every time I've had an opportunity to sing, like at church or something, that I should sing out or sing a little bit louder so that people can hear me when I'm singing, because my voice doesn't sound quite as bad mixed in with other people's or matching, music and reading music. So maybe that is something that I need to do on my own and put myself out there. But admittedly, that does scare me a lot. So putting myself out there scares me a lot. But I'm just grateful that God is aware of that, and he sends people into my life to remind me that I have talent and that I do sound beautiful, and that other people actually do appreciate my gifts and my talents and what I have to offer. and that maybe it just makes them feel a little bit lighter, a little bit better. It's encouraging to them, and that sharing my gifts and talents isn't putting other people down, but it's just sharing what I have for other people to enjoy. So I'm grateful for the little reminders and the little changes in perspective that will hopefully help me to slowly change and get to the point where I am comfortable or willing to step outside my comfort zone to share what I have with other people. So that's what I have for today. If you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.